and welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can tell by the title, in this video I'm going to compare two sunscreens by the same French brand, that is the brand SVR, and both sunscreens are from the same sunscreen line, which SVR calls Sun Secure. The first sunscreen is the Fluide Photo-Age, and the second sunscreen is the Milk sunscreen. The Milk sunscreen comes in two packaging, a small one and a big one, but the small one has fragrance in it and the big one is fragrance free. So you don't have a choice to get a smaller packaging if you want the fragrance free version. I have already made very detailed video for each sunscreen on my channel, so if you want to see the application on my face and every single detail, I will leave the link in the comment section and in the description box of each video. What I've noticed with both sunscreens, and that is the main reason for me doing this video today, is that they have many similarities, but they have a very different price. And I'm going to put the price on the screen so you can see what I mean by a very different price. In yellow, I put the price for the same quantity. Here I choose the quantity of 50 millimeters, and you can see that the price difference is close to times 7. Before I buy a sunscreen, there are 5 main requirements which are very important for me, and both sunscreens meet my 5 most important requirements. So I'm going to tell you what they are. The first one is that a sunscreen should not contain any known irritating ingredients, because I have very sensitive skin, and for me the ingredients I try to avoid the most is any drying alcohol, any essential oils, and any fragrance. And both sunscreens do not contain those ingredients. Actually, SVR market both as suitable for sensitive skin. The next point is that I want to avoid sunscreens with old school sunscreen ingredients. And what I mean by that is ingredients like autocrylene or avobenzone, which were used for a long time in sunscreens. Now there are more sunscreens, at least in Europe and in Asia, who use more modern sunscreen ingredients, and my skin and my eyes seems to enjoy them more, because they tend to break me out, but they also tend to sting my very sensitive eyes. And both SVR sunscreens do not contain those ingredients. They both contain the same UV filters, which I will put on the screen. SVR uses 4 in their formula of products which are part of their Sun Secure line. Of course, I want my sunscreen to have a great protection against UVB and UVA, and with both sunscreen I have this strong protection. They are both SPF50 plus for the protection against UVB, and they both have a PA++++ protection against UVA rays. The next important point for me is that the sunscreen must be invisible, and in France, many brands claim to be invisible on all skin tones, even when that is not the case. So a brand claiming that their product is invisible does not mean that the product is actually invisible. With those two sunscreens, they truly are, no matter the amount of sunscreen you apply on your skin. The fourth important requirement for me is that I don't want the sunscreens to make me look greasy or oilier than normal, and at the same time I don't want my sunscreen to make my skin feel drier. And with both sunscreens I don't have this issue. They are both moisturizing but not greasy and not drying. The fifth and last requirement is that I want my sunscreen to be easy to apply on the skin. I don't want my sunscreen to peel. I don't want to struggle to blend it on my skin or to spread it on my skin. And the application of both sunscreens when it comes to the tactile feeling is extremely similar. They are both easy to apply and reapply on the skin. So with both sunscreens meeting those 5 requirements, I am actually already happy. But I have bonus points when a sunscreen meets other requirements. I have 2, and both sunscreens also meet those bonus requirements, which are that I like when a sunscreen is very water resistant or waterproof, especially during the summertime. That way I feel more protected, and both sunscreens are very water resistant. They actually also are resistant to sweat and friction. And the other bonus point that I give is when a sunscreen can work under makeup, like a makeup base, and both sunscreens can do that, and that is very difficult to do. When you apply both products, at the beginning it looks kind of shiny or really glowy, but you just have to be patient and wait a few minutes before applying your makeup. And if you have oily skin like me, you may feel the need to use clean hands and wipe it quickly on your face to remove excess shine before applying the makeup, but doing so I get great results. Today I am wearing the Photo-Age underneath my makeup and I like the result. I have oily skin, so I like the result in winter, spring and fall, and I haven't had the opportunity to test them yet during the summertime, but with my skin type it is already great that it can work as a makeup base during the fall, winter and spring season, so that already meets my bonus requirement. In total, both sunscreens meet my most important requirements as well as my bonus requirements, and that is difficult to do for any sunscreen. So just for that, I congratulate SVR for being able to do such great products. If those 8 requirements are also important for you, and if they are the main important requirements for any sunscreen, then here you have it. Both sunscreens meet those requirements, but one is much more expensive than the other. So if I were you, I would stick with a cheaper version. With that being said, they are not similar on absolutely everything. So now I'm going to talk about the few differences between those 2 sunscreens. And the first one on my list is the smell. Although I say that both products are fragrance-free, that doesn't mean that they don't have a smell, and the Milk sunscreen has a chemical smell that is not too strong, but it is there, while the Photo-Age sunscreen's smell is almost inexistent. And personally, I don't like any chemical scent, so the Photo-Age wins this point. The other difference is the main obvious when you look at both products, and it is their packaging. The Photo-Age sunscreen has this small packaging, and it makes it easy to carry it with you in your bag or wherever you go. So that is a plus for me for the Photo-Age sunscreen. The other point will go to the Milk sunscreen for the same reason, the packaging. Depending on what you like, you may prefer the bigger packaging because that is a packaging that allows you to use it on your face and body. So if you need a sunscreen that you can reapply on your face and your body, it makes more sense to get the Milk sunscreen because of the big packaging compared to the Photo-Age sunscreen. The other difference is that the Milk sunscreen has been formulated to be used on babies, kids, teenagers, adults. It works for the entire family, while the Photo-Age sunscreen, when you look at the website, has been formulated for adults. And I asked the brand directly on Instagram because it could be blurry on their website, because formulated for adults doesn't mean that you can't use it on kids as well. So I made sure with them they don't advise us to use it on kids. So if you need a sunscreen that you can apply on yourself but also on your kids, then the Milk sunscreen is the one you can use. The other difference is not really a difference for me, and it is the marketing around the product. The Photo-Age, as I said, is marketing for adults, and the communication around it is about anti-aging mainly, while the Milk sunscreen has a normal sunscreen communication around it. So that may be a reason for you to use the Photo-Age sunscreen, but I reviewed it on my last video. I took a lot of time on the anti-aging aspect of the sunscreen, and it does not impress me at all. So for me, that's not a relevant difference. So the last and the biggest difference is the price. I will show you the price again, and you can see that the Milk sunscreen is much cheaper when you look at both price for the same quantity of product. And that could be explained for me in part by the packaging of the Photo-Age sunscreen. It's more complicated, it's more sturdy, and the packaging when it comes to cosmetic ingredients sometimes can cost more than what's in the packaging. So that's one reason. The other reason I think is the positioning of those products. One is for the entire family and one is for adult, and it's supposed to be anti-aging. So obviously anything anti-aging tends to cost more. So if you market your product this way, you will have to put a higher price. The most important thing at the end of the day is how the product reacts on your own skin. It is your own experience with the product. I used the Photo-Age sunscreen for more than 2 months and I didn't have any bad reaction on my skin. I was not able to use the Milk sunscreen for that long because after using it for several days in a row, that sunscreen made me break out. It was not anything horrible, but it did break me out around my neck here, and that is one area where I usually never break out, although I have acne prone skin. So I tested this product several times, meaning that I used it for several days, I broke out, so I stopped using it. And then my blemishes went away. I used it again, the blemishes came back. I stopped it, it went away. So obviously my skin does not like something in the Milk sunscreen. I checked all the ingredients. I checked the ingredients that are unique to this formula compared to the other, and I still don't know why my skin does not like this formula, because there is no non-irritating ingredients. Sometimes when you have sensitive skin, there is no answer for why your skin breaks out. The formula does not give all the information. That's just how it is. So obviously for me, the Photo-Age sunscreen is the only choice that makes sense. Also, I like the small packaging because I want to be able to carry it with me on my bag. Also, I very rarely use sunscreen on my body, so I don't need such a big packaging. When I do use sunscreen on my body, which is rare, I have another sunscreen from SVR, which I like to use because of its very interesting texture, and I talked about it on a previous video. So despite the fact that the Photo-Age sunscreen is much more expensive. It is my favorite sunscreen between the two because of the way my skin reacts and the way I like to use my sunscreens. Please let me know in the comment section with everything I've just told you which sunscreen interests you the most. If you have tried both or one of those sunscreen, let me know what is your opinion about it. Share everything with me, with us in the comment section. Thank you for watching until the end, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.